Hello, I'm Dean Junkins, Chief Investment Officer for Wells Fargo Private Bank. In talking with investors, it is clear that continued volatility in the financial markets has left many concerned and anxious and wondering whether it will ever be safe to invest in traditional investments such as stocks and bonds. This type of reaction is hardly surprising given all that we've been through in recent years. Let's face it, there are plenty of things to worry about, and clarity on these issues is not 2020 and never will be. In this webcast, I'll be talking about key investment principles that we believe can help remove some of the anxiety generated by today's market environment, or at least provide a framework to deal with the uncertainty. Our number one principle in this environment is to know your number. What do we mean by this? Your number is the amount of cash or cash equivalent investments that make you comfortable enough to stay the course set out in your long-term investment plan during volatile financial markets. It may be enough to cover several months of living expenses. However, the right level of liquidity for you is personal. Knowing your number is as much art as it is science. We have found that having an additional liquidity cushion over and above your living expenses can help you avoid making emotional decisions during market corrections that you may later regret. Principle 2. When it comes to determining an appropriate investment strategy, your time horizon makes all the difference. You may know the time horizon for all your major investment goals, but do you know if your investments will be accessible when you need them? As a general rule of thumb, we recommend a lower exposure to volatile assets such as stocks the shorter the goal's time horizon. It may also be advisable to pay close attention to the maturities of investments such as bonds, making sure to match these maturities to the anticipated timing of the need. We all experience changes in our lives. Your asset allocation strategy will likely need to be realigned periodically to address such changes. Principle number 3, managing your financial goals is a dynamic process. You need to revisit your plan on a periodic basis. There are 3 considerations that we believe are important to developing an asset allocation strategy. Number 1, the portfolio should have adequate liquidity. Number 2, it should be appropriately positioned for growth and income for your long-term investment goals. And number 3, a portion of your portfolio should be designed to help reduce the impact of market volatility. Let me go on now to principle number 4. Aim for consistent returns through the use of diversification. Why strive for consistent returns? Our analysis shows that portfolios that generate consistent returns are likely to increase your wealth more than portfolios that produce more volatile returns. Basic arithmetic shows us that if you lose 50% of your portfolio, you don't need to earn 50% to get back to even. You need to earn 100% to get back to even. Using asset allocation, diversification, and rebalancing can help to reduce the swings that you may face in the value of your portfolio. Aiming to achieve consistent rather than outsized returns can better position you to stay on course with your investment plan over the long run. Principle 5 recognizes that volatility is not the only risk that investors face. In real life, risk exists in a variety of forms and can impact you very differently from the next person. However, in the investment world, investment professionals typically discuss risk in terms of market volatility or standard deviation. I have to say I have rarely met an investor who knows what their standard deviation is. So if traditional measures of risk are insufficient, how can you manage your risk exposure across a diversified portfolio? We recommend reviewing exposure to a variety of risks that include the amount of leverage in your portfolio, the illiquidity of a particular investment, which could mean that you are unable to access your money if you suddenly need it, lack of transparency, and unpredictable risks such as operational and single event risk. Principle number 6, discipline and process trump emotion. One of the biggest risks an investor faces is making an emotional decision to abandon his or her long-term investment plan. And I want to point out that sticking to your investment plan does not mean maintaining the exact same investments over time or adopting a buy and hold strategy. What it means is maintaining a disciplined investment process. This chart clearly shows the dangers of a lack of investment discipline. A study conducted by Dalbar shows that over a 20-year period, individual investors typically underperform the market. The number one cause of these lower returns is that they abandon their investment plans during times of high market volatility. What can you do to mitigate the impulse to act on emotion? Well, we recommend that your long-term strategy for your lifestyle, legacy, and philanthropic goals takes into account a worst and a best-case scenario. Such an approach can help you prepare for a variety of different market conditions. Our seventh and final principle involves thinking of yourself as a global investor rather than simply a U.S. investor with an allocation to international investments. We believe that globalizing portfolios and incorporating diverse assets can potentially reduce overall risk, diversify income streams, and provide additional growth opportunities for investors. More to the point, a huge transformation of the global economy is underway, and the process will not necessarily be smooth or painless. As this chart shows, by some measures, emerging economies have already surpassed the developed economies in terms of total GDP or economic output. Emerging economies are growing at about 3 times the rate of developed economies, and they are home to about 80% of the world's population. As consumers, we have helped to bring about these transformational changes. As investors, we should take full advantage of them. According to a 2009 National Consumer Survey, 2/3 of investors lack a formal investment plan. Yet in our view, developing an investment plan, having the discipline to stick with it, and allowing it to evolve based on changes in your circumstances is important to long-term investment success. If you don't have a financial plan, or if it's been a while since your plan was updated, I suggest setting up an appointment with your investment professional. The 7 investment principles that I've just described can help guide you as you work with your investment professional to formulate or update your plan. Invest the time to decide on what you want to achieve financially. Involve trusted planning professionals and document your plan for future reference to gauge progress. For more information on the 7 key principles for successful investing, please read our white paper available on Wells Fargo's Wealth Management Insights Center. Thank you for listening.